Good morning, friends. Today we will see the temperature stresses. In the last class we had seen what is temperature stress. Just an introductory part we had seen. We see if a particular that is a bar which is heated. Take any bar, square, whatever the cross section may be there. If you heat it, what happens? We say in that case the bar after heating will expand. Why it will expand? Because it is a property of every material. When it is heated or cooled, it may increase in length or decrease in length depending on the temperature. So this is called this effect is similar to the stress that is developed due to a load. What happens in a load? We say in that case when load is applied on a component, what we say there is a elongation. Same thing happens in case of a particular that is when a bar is heated, it expands. So we have to see what is the effect when we go for that is a temperature stress. Already we have seen when we go for the thermal stresses. In that case, what are these thermal stresses? Thermal stresses are the stresses induced in a bar due to temperature. These are set up in a body when the temperature is raised or lowered and the body is not allowed to expand or contract freely. That is very important when we say temperature stress. When it is open, there will be a free expansion, and that expansion will depend again on alpha, that is the coefficient of expansion of the material. So we have to see when we go for that is what is the effect of the temperature stress, or what is the temperature stress we can say is due to the restriction in expansion of the component. So we have to see that if the body is not allowed to expand and contract freely, no stresses will be developed. If the body is allowed to expand freely or contract freely, no stresses will be developed. In that case, it will expand, but there will be no stress. It is within the elastic limit, so we can say it will come back to its original shape. But if there is a restriction, so in that case, if there is a restriction, what will happen in that case? We can say there will be a thermal stress. So what is the thermal stress? In that case, we will see the thermal stress in a body. Now let L be the length of the body, length of bar, or we can say any body. Let T be the rise in temperature. Let alpha be the coefficient of thermal expansion, and let delta L be the change in length. So we can say delta L is equal to alpha T into L. And we can say the thermal strain epsilon will be equal to alpha T L by L. So we get this alpha T. And the thermal stress, we can say the thermal stress will be equal to alpha E. So these are the equations that we have to see when we go for a particular stress in it. How the stress develops in a bar. Now when we say that there is a restriction for the expansion of a bar. So when we are restricting, that is the bar is fixed at both the ends and we are hitting it, what will happen in that case? The bar, instead of increasing length, we say that it will have a compressive force will act on it. This compressive force is called the thermal stress, because we are restricting the expansion of the material. So in that case, we should know the property that alpha for every material. We can say alpha S is for the coefficient of thermal expansion for steel, alpha C for copper, alpha B for brass, alpha A for that is the. Notice the difference in this case. Steel and copper, if you compare, which will expand more? We say in that case copper will expand more as compared to steel. Similarly, if you consider aluminum also we can say will expand more than the steel. So that is the property of the material. So we should know why we are going for this, because many times when a component is mounted on a product, that is a machine, we see that there is a temperature rise in every component, and that temperature rise should not cause any deformation. Now if you go on heating, in this case what will happen? In that case the bar may deform like this. There will be a slight deformation in the bar because the restriction is more. So that is called the stress. That is, we say that when we say that is a stress is developed, we are just saying for an example that is what is the. Now we can say that is what is the thermal stress given by the thermal stress is given by alpha TE, and the thermal strain epsilon is given by alpha T, by using the same basic concept, that is load by area. So that is a basic concept that we have to see when we go for, that is the thermal stresses. Now this is a case for, that is a metal which has got, that is a single, this is for a determinant section. Now if you go for indeterminate section, we can say in that case indeterminate. What do you mean by indeterminate? In that case we can say that is two different materials we are considering. Say let it be separate. So in that case we can say that is this is of steel and this is of brass, and we heat. What will happen in that case? We have to see. Now it is very important, because alpha S and alpha B for brass, they are different. We have seen that alpha B is more than alpha S, that is the value. When we go for heating, what happens in that case? Both will expand freely, but in that case brass will expand more than the steel. Or we have studied in case of a particle, that is a bifilar strip, where it is heated, and if they are not joined, we can say in that case they take a shape. In this case the steel will go upward and the brass will go down. That is the basic thing that we have seen maybe in our the physics for a particular application. Now in this case, if this both the are a composite section, what we have seen, in that case both will be taking the same heat and the same load, that we say it is a composite section or a compound section. Now if we heat this particular bar, what will be the changes in that case? In that case we can say as what will be the type of stresses that will be occurring in brass and the steel strip or the steel rod, they will not be same. But in that case, as both are fixed, we can say in that case the epsilon B will be equal to epsilon S. That is the thermal expansion of copper and steel will be same. Or we can, the strain in the brass will be equal to strain, or both will be having, that is delta B will be equal to delta S. because both are having the same restriction. But in this case, what type of stresses will develop in the brass and the steel? That is very important. So what will happen in this case when we are hitting it? Brass, I told you, brass will expand more than the steel. So what type of stress will occur in brass? So sigma B in that case, in brass, it will be more. Or we can say in that case the expansion of brass will be more, whereas the expansion of steel will be less. Now what is the effect of this on the stresses that are developed in the bar, the composite section? Now this is the composite section, or we can say composite bar or a compound bar which is heated. So we say in that case brass will have, that is the more expansion than the steel, because of the property alpha B is greater than alpha S. Or we can say alpha S has got the thermal coefficient of expansion less than brass. So in that case brass will expand more than the steel. So what type of the stresses will develop in the bar is very important. So what type of stress will develop in brass? We can say will be a compressive. Brass will be under compression, whereas steel will be under tension. How? Because we have to see that both delta B and delta S are same. We are restricting the expansion of brass, and to maintain the same deformation, the steel will expand more. So that is, we can say that is the steel will be under tension and the brass will be under compression. So that is the difference between when we go for, that is the nature of the stresses that will be occurring in the composite bar. It is very important depending on that's why we have to see, when we go for any component, we have to see that what is the thermal expansion of any composite material that we are selection for any application. We have to see, we should know the thermal expansion and there should not be a separation. Now when we go for a composite bar, what are the applications in that case? We can take example of here, that is, you might have studied here the basic mechanical engineering, that we have seen, that is, there is a piston and cylinder arrangement. In that case, we can say that is alloy steel and the outer is aluminium. And in this case, the piston moves. So what is here, the heat is generated. Both are having a different combination. That will be, that is, one is brass, we can say the brass or the alloy steel, and other is aluminium. Both have got a different. They should not separate. So they are rigidly fixed. So in that case, why we are using aluminium and the steel, or we can say that is the alloy steel? In that case, alloy steel has good properties for the wear resistance, whereas aluminium has got a good thermal coefficient or greater cooling. So that many things are, many applications are there when we go for that is but they should not separate, or they should, the tension or the stress should be same. That we have to understand in case of the temperature stresses in a composite bar, because most of as we have seen, to understand the basic concept, we have seen that is first a determinant section, then we have gone for that is a composite section in loading. Same is the case when we go for that is the temperature stresses or the thermal stresses. So same, that we'll see what is the effect of a thermal stress in a composite bar. Now consider a bar where we can say in that case two materials are joined rigidly fixed and made the length be L. One is of steel, one is of brass, and they are heated. Then we have to see what is the stress in the element. So in that case, we have to see what is the stress in the element for it. Now we have seen when we go for the thermal stress also. In the composite bar. What is thermal stress in a composite bar? Load on steel will be equal to load on brass bar, that is bar. So in that case, we have seen what is the load on steel bar is, we can say sigma SAS is equal to sigma B AB. Now for the equilibrium, we can say in that case, what is the equilibrium condition or the compatibility condition? We can say the load on brass should be equal to, for the equilibrium condition, load on brass should be equal to load on the steel tube. So we have to see that is sigma SAS is equal to, or we can sigma B AB is equal to sigma SAS. From what we are getting the equation, that is P is equal to sigma by A. So we are getting that is, sigma is equal to P by A, and we are getting that is P is equal to sigma into A, that is, so for steel sigma SAS, for the load on the brass bar it is sigma B AB. So that is the basic condition that we have to understand from the first that we have seen for a composite bar in a loading condition. Now we have to go for, that is the actual expansion. Actual expansion of steel and actual expansion of brass. So we can say in that case, in terms of the actual expansion of steel should be equal to actual expansion of brass. So that is very important when we go for that is. Now what is expansion of steel? What is the expansion of steel? It is, we can say, alpha S T into L plus expansion due to tension in steel. So what is this expansion of steel? We can say that is alpha S T into L. T is the temperature rise and L is the length of the bar, plus expansion due to tension in steel. Why the tension is there? Because alpha B is greater than alpha S. We say that the coefficient of thermal expansion of steel is less than the brass. So there will be less expansion of steel and more expansion of brass. So in that case, brass will expand more, but the steel will expand less. And to maintain the actual equality or the compatibility equation, we say that the expansion of steel will be alpha S T L plus expansion due to the tension in the steel. Similarly, if you consider the expansion of brass, actual expansion of brass, what is it given by? We can say alpha B T into L minus contraction due to steel. Why this minus sign? Because we are restricting Why the compressive stress will be there? Because we are restricting the expansion of the brass tube or the brass bar. So we get there minus. So that is important. So in that case, when we equate both the equations, what will be equation in that case? We can say that is alpha s T L plus the expansion, we can say that is sigma s by Es into L is equal to alpha B T L minus sigma B into EB into L. How we are getting this? This is again the basic equation, that is we have that is epsilon, or we have seen that is the increase in length, or increase in length will be equal to, we can say that is sigma s by Es into L. How we are getting? Using the equation that is for the, and Es is the Young's modulus of elasticity for the steel, and EB is the Young's modulus of brass, and here is the length, because L is equal for both the sections. So using this equation we can say that in that case we get that is alpha yes, we can say alpha T plus alpha S T plus sigma S upon Es is equal to alpha B T minus sigma B upon EB. So this is the equation that we have to use when we go for solving the numericals on a particular, that is a case for the temperature stresses. So it is important to know what are the, how we go for a compatibility section in actual practice. Now where we have to use particular, that is the thermal stresses. It is very important. When we say that is, when we say a rail track, there is a gap between the two rails of a railway track. Why that gap is maintained? Because when a particular, that is a wheel runs over it, there is thermal expansion and that will get closed, and we can say that the gap will be filled due to the repetitive, that is we can say thermal stress that is being working on the element. Similarly, if you want to see that you want to fit a ring on a particular, that is a wheel, maybe any wheel, that may be a wooden wheel or a, what we do in that case, we have to see that to increase diameter of the ring, what we do in that case, we hit the ring first and then we press it on the wooden wheel so that it will fix. So that is, we can say that is the same equation, alpha S T into here will be diameter. We can say that diameter will increase and we have to see what will be the decrease in diameter, or what will be diameter of the particular, that is the wooden block, that can be checked. So these are the simple examples where we can go for, that is the use of the thermal stress. Many applications are there. I give you example of the ICE engine. In many practical examples are there. Even when we go for the fitting of the bearings, when we fit a bearing, if you want to go for the press fitting of a bearing, how we fit it? In that case, we have to heat the bearing and then press it on the bar, and we can say if the diameter is more, so it should be a press fit bearing. So in that case, we have to heat the bearing first in oil and then it is pressed again, and when it cools, we can say it will be settled on the bar. So that is the, because the bearing should not get damaged. So these are the things that we have to take care when we go for selecting the thermal stresses on the different components. There are many applications where we can go for, that is the studying the detail of a product, that is a. Now if you want to see that, we will see in the next class the bar, if it is heated, a cross section is given. What is the cross section? We have to see. Now when the two materials are different, one say brass and other is steel, and we are heating it, or if it is heated or temperature is rising in that case, what will happen in between the two? We have seen one will expand less, one will expand more. We will see the properties of the material for that. What will be the effect of that? There will be a shear stress acting on the surface. So we have to see what are the things that when we go for a shear stress on a particular surface, that will be acting. Using that we can find what will be the shear stress acting on the surface between the two surfaces. Now when we go for the properties of the material, we have to see what are the different properties of the material when we go for the composite section, because when we go for the composite section we should know the thermal properties of the material. So that thermal properties can be seen or can be studied by using, that is, the concept of the thermal stress, or using the value of the alpha. So there is a, we can say, a simple explanation where we can get what are the properties of the material that we are studying for the different applications, and how to find, that is, the thermal stress in an element. So in that case, first today we will see what is the application for a particular, or what are the different coefficients of thermal expansion. I told you verbally, that is, what is the alpha S, alpha B, alpha L or alpha L are the properties of the different material. So we can see how we can see the properties of the different material, or what are the thermal coefficients of the different materials we can see. Now if you want to see the properties of the different materials, the alpha S for different materials, we can say in that case alpha steel, the coefficient is 12 into 10 raised to 6, 10 raised to minus 6 per degree centigrade. When we go for alpha C, that is copper, it is 17.5 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree centigrade. When we go for the stainless steel SS, it is having a, we can say, coefficient of thermal expansion 18 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree centigrade. When we go for brass or the bronze, sigma B, it is again we have, that is, the 19 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree centigrade. And alpha aluminum, we have, that is, 23 into 10 raised to minus 6 per degree centigrade. Now what does this table indicate? That when the temperature changes are there, we have, that is, the aluminum has got thermal coefficient of expansion more than steel or brass or stainless steel, or we can say when we compare with the copper. So using this relation, we have to see that what are the stresses that are developed in a particular element that can be found in the next class we will see. Thank you.